the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, Hoops fans. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny, the Jet, the champion, Smith, and Shaquille, the Diesel, the champion several times, O'Neal. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Toronto Raptors. For the Raptors, they lost their first matchup against these guys. This, their final game against them in the regular season, looking to finish with a split. Guys, coaches who have moved from college to the NBA have generally had a tough time making that adjustment. But after 19 seasons at the University of Florida, Billy Donovan done pretty well in OKC, hasn't he?
Well, he got the Thunder within one game of the NBA Finals, and that's, pretty impressive. It's different team now, no KD, but he still established himself as a great coach.
He was a humble player as a coach. He came in humble. He said, how can I bring value to the team? He brought accountability, discipline, and composure.
Maybe you can take that attitude as well. Maybe you can look at this team and say, how can I bring value to the team?
Why would I do that, Ernie?
Excellent point. Here's Kevin Harlan.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
I never want to waste your time. My life, so precious, is yours, is mine. Hey, look at the time. My God, so precious. Is yours, is mine.
The crowd is assembled at the Air Canada Centre, looking for a Raptors victory here in Toronto. And we've got it live right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side are analysts Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. From the sideline, we'll have the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We'll be hearing from him in just a bit. So for the Thunder, their last game, a win against the Clippers.
And in that one, it was all about shutting down the paint. They were just terrific in terms of their rim protection.
Well, and that's exactly how you have to protect the basket, right? Exceptional job setting the tone on the defensive end, deep at the rim.
And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. D.A., take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, Dwayne Casey has been the head coach in Toronto for the better part of a decade now. He said the most rewarding part of coaching has been watching his players grow up, watching a guy go from never playing in an NBA game before to developing into an all-star player. That's probably the most rewarding thing that you can do as a coach. Now, Kevin, he's helping this team and its players both make the leap forward.
Great stuff, D.A. Coach Casey definitely gets the best out of his guys. You can tell they love playing for him. We should have a fan favorite here tonight. Two fast break teams. Lots of highlight reel plays. Doris, what can either side do to try and slow down the other?
Well, both teams love to take turnovers and turn them into highlight reel dunks. So one, you've got to take high quality shots, take care of the basketball, make sure you're getting good shots every trip, Kev.
Ready, gentlemen? Ready?
And so off the tip, it's Oklahoma City. So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. Anthony is out there with Adams. Then there's Russell Westbrook. Then there's Brewer. And it's George in at the 3. Now here is Lowry. Here's Valanciunas. Second chance effort. That shot off. Adams, some nice D. Here's George, and George with the stuff.
Well, Kevin, if you allow Paul George loose in fast break situations, he's an absolute force in the open floor.
And DeRozan kicks to Ibaka. Ibaka drawing the double team. Down low. Outside for Lowry. Fires the 3. And again, Toronto no luck. George dishes to Westbrook. And finished off by Westbrook.
Now the superb athleticism of Russell Westbrook on full display. The vertical out of this world.
And that was Under Armour bringing you that replay. Unleash chaos. And what a play it was. Lowry kicks to Ibaka. Up top, Valanciunas. Westbrook with the steal. And now Westbrook pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And Westbrook throws it down.
Well, this guy knows how to do this in the open floor. Russell Westbrook in transition is the most dangerous player.
For Toronto, they've gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That is his first foul of the game.
And that's a quick foul for him there. Looks like the refs are going to call this one pretty close.
First quarter, about a minute and a half in. Valanciunas sets a screen for Lowry. And it's Miller in the corner.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They right now are searching for a bucket.
Here's George, tipped away. It's stolen by Ibaka. It's taken away by Brewer. Here's Adams. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist.
Boy, the offense is really clicking. 4 for 5 from the field to start. Nice.
Now, here's Lowry. They count on his contributions, currently providing 16.5 points a game. Valanciunas, good.
Well, Jonas Valanciunas has the instincts, the size, and the smarts to go ahead and take advantage of those missed shots and create them into points.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Lowry kicks to Miller. Now the dish to DeRozan. Shot clock at 6. And DeRozan throws it down.
I'd say there might not be anyone in the league who enjoys a nice opportunity to send it in as DeMar DeRozan. How about the bounce in his step?
And that pattern continues, guys. Another heat check, another log on the fire.
Boy, the opposition has got to feel an avalanche bearing down on them right now. They're wiping them off the floor.
Here's Lowry, following the score by Oklahoma City. Anthony on the double team, and the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That is his first foul of the game. And Toronto has possession. 8-point game. Lobs it up for Ibaka. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there.
The D feels like it's everywhere, and that pass.
Oh! Goodness. Wow.
Wow. Now, Paul George is an exceptional athlete and demonstrating his insane dunking skills there. Get this guy in the dunk competition.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
And guys, they just got so many good looks in that one, and the defense never able to affect their offensive rhythm.
Well, I think the defense from the other team was simply porous. There's no other way to put it. So many openings, and they made them pay for it.
And basketball's popularity in Canada, Doris, is skyrocketing.
And though it would be unthinkable years ago, basketball is now challenging hockey in terms of youth participation. So it's really no wonder we're seeing so many great NBA players who have come down from Canada. Love it.
While we have the chance, a look at our 2K leaderboard and the top shooting small forwards at the free throw line during the last month. You look at Brewer, the best in the NBA. You put him on the line and it's nearly automatic.
And most impressive is that he's done it in the first quarter, in the clutch, whenever, as consistent as they come.
And again, no good by Toronto. Oklahoma City leading by 10. And George, here we go. And then George with the jam.
Well, you love how Paul George finishes on the drive. That is a powerful dunker right there.
Toronto, they've gone just 2 of 8 shooting so far, just 25%. Ibaka with a screen on Anthony. Here's Miller. Kicks to DeRozan. Great D that time from Westbrook.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And now they're turning this game into a drag race, sprinting out for easy fast break baskets.
Here's Lowry. Paul George making his last shot. And the shot goes in.
Boy, Kyle Lowry can be so creative sometimes. You think the window's too tight, but he finds a way.
Westbrook with it. Now guarded by DeRozan. And it's Westbrook missing. Raptors trail by 12. Lets the 3 fly. It's hauled in by George.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Well, Doris, you've said this many times. Few players as competitive as Russell Westbrook in the league. He goes full speed from start to finish, and you get the feeling he would play the entire game if his coach let him.
What I love most about Russell Westbrook is how much this guy just loves to compete. And it's that mentality that allows him to take over games, even if things aren't falling his way. It's hard to think of a guy who wants to win more in the league.
2.
And he makes the first.
You know, you see Russell Westbrook now, and you just assume he's going to put up a triple-double. I don't think we thought we'd ever see somebody average that for an entire season. But what an incredible accomplishment last year, and turned the NBA upside down with that feat.
And Russell Westbrook drops them both. And Westbrook with an incredible year in the triple-double average. He also broke Oscar Robertson's record for most triple-doubles in a single season. Doris, wonderful ceremony with the two of them on the last day of last season.
What's incredible to me is Westbrook is already 4th on the all-time triple-double list. Think about it. He's in his prime, and he could pass names like the Big O, Magic Johnson, and Jason Kidd. This is truly extraordinary.
Good on the three-point shot.
It took a lot of work for Kyle Lowry to become this dangerous from three-point land, and downtown is one terrific option among many for this guy.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
And it's Miller in the corner. The 3. Rebounded by Anthony.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
And Westbrook throws it down.
You cannot give Russell Westbrook a lane to the basket. This guy will slam it in your face quicker than you can say boo.
Raptors trail by 15. Lowry passes to DeRozan. Back to Lowry. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assist. 6 points for Kyle Lowry.
How on earth did they let him get that wide open? And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how they've built this lead. They played as one, shared the basketball, running their offense to perfection.
Here's Brewer. Banked in off the glass.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Lowry kicks to Miller. Off target from three-point range.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Here's Anthony, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And the Raptors call time here. You could feel the clock ticking for Melo's time in New York, and this offseason, it finally ended, Greg.
Yeah, and for a team like this to add Melo to the mix, what a blessing. I mean, Melo still has a ton of offense to offer, and hard to add a player so skilled as Melo for practically nothing.
Raptors making a change here. Powell's checked in. And Oklahoma City with a change here, too. Alex Abrinas is checked in for Brewer. Lowry kicks to Valanciunas. They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Anthony. And it's Anthony with the jam.
And really focused on establishing dominance down low. And, guys, it's working.
Oh, no doubt. I think they've controlled the paint. They've used their size and strength to get off any shot they want.
And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Well, now you're going to have to tone down the level of aggressiveness on the defensive end. That's his second foul, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet.
Anthony on the double team. That's tipped. Now it's Anthony running. He can go all the way. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
Boy, the quick hands of Anthony. And he was off and running. Once he gets going like that, pretty much no way to shut that down.
And here are the Raptors now. Their last meeting was in Oklahoma City, where they were unable to fight off the Thunder.
And really a resounding loss the last time they matched up. They got absolutely manhandled on the boards.
You know, sometimes it's about gang rebounding, making sure everyone's in on the responsibility to board it. Let's see if it's more of a group effort tonight.
Here's Powell after the made shot from Carmelo Anthony. And here is Powell. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. 5 to shoot to end the run, and he gets it to go.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Oh, I'll tell you, that's good basketball. You have to get a little creative against the big man, but I love his initiative.
Now, here's George. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Miles, that's good.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Up their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And Paul George, the 10th overall pick in 2010 out of Fresno State. I'm not sure anyone realized, Doris, he'd be this good when he first got into the league.
No, you make a great point, Kev, because the physical tools were there, but his work ethic to keep adding layers to his game has been truly a thing to watch. This guy's got a chance to win league MVP before it's all said and done.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, it's not hard to see what makes Paul George an exceptional player. He does it all for this team, one of the best players in the entire NBA.
And both free throws good for Paul George. Doris, you talk about versatility of players, but as a broadcaster, you've been a courtside reporter, game analyst, a studio host, you name it. What do you prefer to do? What do you like most?
There's no question about it, Kev. The analyst role is the absolute most fun. Now, the only thing that might push that over the top is to sit beside the great Kevin Harlan.
Here's Van Vliet. A 14-point game for him in the win against Dallas.
Kevin, Paul George is absolutely rolling. He's getting any shot he wants, and he's in the zone.
The Raptors shooting 39% in the early minutes of this game. Van Vliet kicks to Miles from the arc, and again Toronto with the triple.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Boy, Adams showing a bit of quickness on the drive. Fantastic athleticism for a guy his size.
Here's Toronto now. Poke loose. "14 feet away. Good on the jump shot. Adams has got 6.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Dishes to Miles. Adams brings the double team. Miles with it. George picks him up. The feed to Miles. Off target from outside.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard. I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
I don't think you can ask for anything more, Greg. What a wonderful job establishing a lead early in this one.
It's Powell on the wing. He kicks it to Pirtle. Back to Powell. 13 feet away. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Excellent D there from George. Powell pulls it in.
Boy, the defense gets into his head and alters his release when he really doesn't have to.
Jump on, cool. You two players.
So it's the Thunder now. Oklahoma City dictating the flow. Here's Adams, and it's good for 2. He's got 8.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Adams has gotten everything to drop so far, shooting 4 of 4. To the paint, shot to stop the run. Count it, good.
Well, this is the expectation for Jakob Poeltl. His scoring in the post has to be there for him.
And George with this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's been orchestrating all game at a high level.
It's just so great to see ball movement like this, and he is excellent at getting his teammates involved.
Paul George with the steal. And here we go. George heading to the hoop, and it's George finishing it off.
You know, you love your star players making others better, and Melo with the vision there.
And here are the Raptors now. Here's Van Vliet. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Powell dishes to Poeltl. Back to Powell. Shot clock at 6. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Powell's gone 2 of 3 from the field. And Westbrook.
I can't imagine the energy expended by Russell Westbrook. Always a threat to score, even when he's getting knocked around.
Here's Van Vliet. No good with the triple. Baseline try. Again, Oklahoma City.
The offense is running well, but more importantly, they're taking the shots they know they can make.
Well, they haven't had to force anything. They're simply moving the ball and working for the best available shot.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder with a 34-point advantage heading into the break. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Back right after this. Had a chance to hear from DeMar DeRozan talking about his team's impressive play of late.
We all just playing together. You know, that's the biggest thing. Moving the ball, playing together on the defensive end. You know, just having trust in one another. You know, that's the bottom line. You know, once we play comfortable, go out there and have fun, we all clicking.
And DeMar is definitely a guy, Greg, that knows how to infuse that chemistry and teamwork on the floor. It looks like he's a big reason why they're clicking.
Kevin, no doubt. And attitude, such a huge factor in being successful as an individual, but really also as a team. I think we've seen him really embrace that attitude as he's matured as a player.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And a very convincing performance from the Thunder so far.
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
I'll tell you, they've simply been more assertive in the open floor. They're leaking out early, converting with confidence.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So for Toronto right now, they've got C.J. Miles. Norman Powell is out there with Poeltl. And it's Siakam in at the power forward.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good.
Well, if you think back to last season, guys, the narrative was that Russell Westbrook had zero help on this roster. To be completely honest, I thought it was unfair to the pieces that were around Russell Westbrook and the job they did playing their roles to exactly the standard this organization wanted.
He doesn't get the second one. And what the fans are saying is that Westbrook, Doris, just needs more help around him.
Well, certainly the acquisition of Paul George should relieve some pressure on Russell Westbrook because now he's teamed along yet another superstar.
Passes it to Van Vliet. Pirtle with the ball. Now the pass to Miles. Patterson bringing the double. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Lays it up off the glass.
And much of the offensive production has come from their willingness to get out and run.
Feeds to Miles. There's the double team with Grant. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Another foul would give him 3 before the half. Something to keep an eye on, guys.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Ferguson's checked in. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. And stolen by Patterson. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. Patterson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
Pass to Miles. There's the double team with Grant. Outside DeRozan. Siakam kicks to Pirtle. And the first ever NBA player out of Austria, Jakob Pirtle, the 9th overall pick back in 2016.
And remember, he was the Pac-12 Player of the Year as a sophomore at Utah. This guy's 7'1", pretty good athlete. Still adding strength, though, to bang bodies at the NBA level.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls.
And in today's game, we're really so used to thinking of passing as the key to an efficient offense. But this Raptors club, they do it a different way. For them, the screen is the assist, giving their guards space to pull up or attack the rim.
Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Toronto. Miller comes in for C.J. Miles. That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Good work there as it goes. Eustace has got his second basket. And the Raptors for the last few seasons, Greg, right at the bottom of the league in assists.
Yeah, but nevertheless, they do make good decisions. They're a low turnover team, and they've been pretty efficient offensively. One area where you can offset that is by their ability to get to the free throw line, because that puts a lot of pressure on your defense with their ability to attack.
Well, you love how Ibaka goes right up with the shot. Doesn't hesitate for a second off the catch.
Eustace's shot is good.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Toronto shooting 41% for the game. Miller outside. We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And the shot is good.
I think the fans always hope for the spectacular with DeMar DeRozan, but those mid-range are just money.
Here's Eustace. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Outside DeRozan. Pass to Ibaka. From beyond the arc. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assists. DeRozan's got 3 assists now in this one. The Thunder have gotten all but 1 of their 7 shots in the second quarter to drop. Pretty impressive. The shot, no good. And Toronto will go the other way with it. When this game is done, they'll be off to Orlando, and they'll take on the Magic. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. Guys, some great passing from them.
Yeah, everybody's touching it, and you're starting to see the assists pile up because the rhythm is on display offensively.
Well, a convincing finish by Patrick Patterson, giving us a demonstration of the kind of power he has at his disposal.
Right against Felton. Patterson bringing the double. And stolen by Patterson. Here's Felton. Buries it down low. Felton's got his first bucket in this one.
Yeah, sprinting end to end, but under control. That's the key.
No, exactly right, Greg. You can't go too fast. He pulled that off in brilliant fashion.
Here's DeRozan, and it comes off the front of the rim.
Well, the defense trying to get out on him, but he's left with the open shot. He's got to make that one.
They get it back. 2 points. That one goes.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Now, Wright. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Dallas.
Yeah, I was also struck by how well he shared the basketball. He created a lot.
Oh!
Well, that's an example of the hard work of Jeremy Grant paying off with the theft. Nicely done.
The Raptors have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Now here's Wright. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Miller with the ball. Now defended by Grant. Ibaka sets the pick for DeRozan. Clock at 4. Miller with a wide open look. And that time, also a missed shot.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Now, really found his stroke here in the second quarter after missing everything in the first.
Toronto's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. And here is Pirtle. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Miller kicks to Wright. The Raptors need to get a shot off. Count it! And that's now 7 points for Serge Ibaka.
You simply cannot let Serge Ibaka get into a rhythm from that range. His mid-range is as good as it gets.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
DeRozan passes to Ibaka. Miller outside and out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. And let's take a look at the playmaking here. This chart with the assist totals split between the front court and the back court tonight for Toronto.
And the guards doing what they can to create some offense. Sometimes that's what it takes to climb back into a game. That commitment to share the ball and trust your teammates, it can help you weather some early struggles.
Here's Oklahoma City. They've got a 12-2 run in progress. Here's Patterson. Shoots over Pirtle, and it's off the back rim. No good.
You know, he's working on his inside game, but clearly there's still a little more work to do.
Wright with it. Now Felton defending. Back to Wright. 3-pointer. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
You know, I think the defense is thinking, I don't have to guard him on the line, but that's just a matter of whether he could knock it down, and he does.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
He dishes it to Miller. Puts up a 3. He can't hit that time.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Greg, the one thing about Patrick Patterson out of Kentucky, he is a smart basketball player.
Yeah, he's not the best rebounder or shot blocker, but the advanced stats love him, and he gets the job done at both ends of the floor.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
First free throw is good. Yours, who are some of the guys that surprise you with their toughness on a nightly basis in the NBA?
You know, you have to think historically, pound for pound in the history of the NBA, the toughest single guy was Allen Iverson. For me, the current iteration, and I'm not saying that Isaiah Thomas is Allen Iverson, they're drastically different players because Isaiah doesn't have that kind of athleticism that AI had early. But Isaiah at 5'9", to continually find his way into the paint, to be willing to attack the bigs, to absorb the kind of pounding he does, and get himself into the MVP conversation, Kevin, really, that was incredible.
LeBron probably takes, for a guy his size, you think he can dish it out, but I'm telling you, I think he gets gets whacked all the time.
I think, Kevin, this is the single hardest guy in the NBA to officiate today. And frankly, I do not believe LeBron James goes to the foul line as much as he deserves.
Well said. And a chance here now to take a look at the teams that are tops in the league in scoring points off turnovers. Number 1, the Thunder. The Raptors in second.
And these two squads really know how to capitalize on mistakes. When they get going in transition, look out.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Anthony comes in for Patrick Patterson. And Paul George is subbed in for Ferguson.
Well, Jonas Valanciunas showing good hands and finishing ability inside. And Kevin, this guy on that end of the floor has always been effective.
And it's in there.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
You can tell they've got their foot on the gas pedal right now. No slowing down. The defense starting to look helpless.
Ball's knocked loose. Paul George with the steal. And it's George finishing it off.
Yeah, Kev, this is how athletic Paul George is. An absolute monster around the rim.
The Raptors have gotten 7 of their 12 field goal attempts to drop here in the second quarter. Up over 50%. Shots good by Miller.
And they are absolutely stroking it from beyond the arc.
And then George with the jam.
Oh, he's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. On the wing, Miller. The 3. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. Miller's got 6 in the quarter.
I think you could see early on that he was really with a rhythm and flow tonight, and now he's really starting to take off.
He just bangs down the one-hander.
2 very easy points right here. And they double up DeRozan, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by DeRozan.
And while we have a chance, how about the numbers for Steven Adams? 4th in field goal percentage. And he's among the top 15 in rebounding. Just a powerful presence in the paint.
And yeah, he's such an efficient scorer. Understands the offense. Moves without the ball so well. That's why he's top 5 in field goal percentage. Here's Westbrook. Good work defensively by Lowry. Raptors shooting 49% on the game. They'll take that. Powell for 3. And again, Toronto with the triple.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
The shot by George, no good. Expanding his range. Russell Westbrook with the rebound. George with the ball. Powell on him. Yep, that one goes in there. That's 28 points for George.
Well, that's really good patience in the post, right? Paul George, not a post man, but able to attack at the right moment.
Here's Siakam, covered by Anthony. Here's Van Vliet. And it's off from three-point range. There's the dish to Brewer. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Brewer's got his second bucket.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Screened by Valanciunas. Anthony on the double team. Van Vliet kicks to Lowry. And it's off from three-point range. Here's Brewer. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Brewer's got 6.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
It's stolen by Anthony. Right side, Westbrook. Drops in the tray. 15 points in the game.
Well, he's kept them in balance tonight. This guy's shooting has put them in front.
The one thing we saw with the Thunder last postseason, Doris, is that when Russell Westbrook comes off the floor, this team sometimes lost its direction.
Yeah, but now with Paul George in the fold, it makes sense to stagger their minutes. That way they won't have such a dramatic drop-off if Russell Westbrook leaves the floor.
Oh, easy put back. No one got a body on it.
Boy, I'll tell you, Greg, that's just inexcusable. All they had to do was box him out. You learn a lesson the hard way in that instance.
It's Powell on the wing. And again, no good by Toronto.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Nothing they're doing on the defensive end is working. They've got to figure something out, and fast.
And for the Raptors, they're shooting at 44%, pretty reasonable.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Looking to end the drought. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Adams has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active.
Well, this is a tough night so far. They'd be smart to rely more on a couple of their other options.
And it's not the half-court D that's been the problem. It's scores like that which are killing them.
Kicks it to Powell. He feeds it to Lowry. And the three off target. Oklahoma City dictating the flow. Westbrook moves back up, and the layup is up and in. Anthony's got 4 points this quarter.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Passes it to Siakam. 4 seconds left. Here's Valanciunas. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. It's his first trip to the line.
In their last contest, guys, he was unconscious from the foul line.
Two shots.
The free throw drops for Valanciunas.
Well, Kevin, the 5th overall pick back in 2011, Valanciunas has worked so hard to improve his entire game. I'll tell you, it's paid off, Kevin. He can impact a game in a lot of different ways.
Valanciunas hits them both. Outside, George. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, enjoying the kind of gigantic lead you almost never see. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Carmelo, big night for you statistically on and off the ball tonight. Was the strategy any different going into this game?
It's the same thing. Try to move without the ball, play without the ball, space the court, attack when I get the ball, be aggressive and find people when they open.
Well, Carmelo, congratulations on a big night. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. So far, a pretty lopsided game, but still one half to play. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He had 32 points, 3 steals, and 1 rebound. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Right up front, we saw the elite two-way game of Paul George. Locking down guys defensively, lesser athletes have almost no chance to score on him. And then he was in total command on the offensive end, made plays for others, and shot lights out for himself.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on Toronto?
Well, they got to do a better job on the glass. Ernie, they got outworked. They were weak physically. That's part of how they fell behind in this game. I think if they could control those things, they'll be okay, Ernie.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We'll see you later.
Welcome back to Toronto, where the gigantic CN Tower dominates the skyline. Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
And how disruptive was he in that first half? I mean, creating havoc, causing turnovers, and really energizing his team.
Well, didn't you get the sense, Greg, that this entire team fed off his energy? His remarkable effort on the defensive end really triggered this group.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. The Raptors shooting about 42% so far. So for Oklahoma City right now, they've got Adams, Russell Westbrook out there with Corey Brewer. Then it's Paul George, and it's Anthony in at the 4 slot.
I'll tell you, Steven Adams is a load on the block. That frame makes him an impossible check.
Well, Doris, beside what he brings to a team on the court, Steven Adams also helps the team in the locker room with his presence.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You can hear it in the way Steven Adams interacts with both the press and his teammates. He's a very personable guy. There's a sharp wit to him that can help ease tension within a team or sometimes, if necessary, with the media.
They throw good, Adams.
And as you would expect, Steven Adams has grown into a larger role with this team. Really came in as a guy who could defend and rebound, but starting to become more of a factor within their offensive framework.
And so Adams nails both of them. And Greg, with Adams, he hasn't just been given more opportunity to display what he can do on offense. He's earned it.
You hit it right on the head. And, you know, as an example, a guy that was a bad free throw shooter, all of a sudden he became respectable because of his work ethic last season. Much more nimble in the paint than most would think. Just good awareness, and he knows when to pick his spots.
And a look now at the various locations of the shots taken so far for George.
Well, this is what you wanted to see from him. I mean, he's not settling for anything and is going right at the defender, taking the ball to the rim whenever he can. And the attitude he's had on offense is keeping his team flying around, as his energy is contagious out there right now.
Lowry with the ball. Westbrook picks him up. Just 2 to shoot.
I love that Russell Westbrook tries to be disruptive. His ability to use his speed to contest is a thing of beauty.
Lowry's got 3 of his 9 shots to fall. Westbrook against Lowry, and that one's good. Westbrook's got 17 now.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Got that one up quick. And 12 points for Kyle Lowry.
Wow, that is some big-time range. My goodness gracious, Kyle Lowry from well beyond the line.
He just bangs down the one-hander.
2 very easy points right here. Miller outside. Back to Lowry. Looking for Ibaka. He gets it there. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
Well, just terrific timing from the power forward Serge Ibaka. He is a sensational leaper.
And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Dishes to Valanciunas. It's stolen by Adams. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. Here's Westbrook. No good on the shot. Ibaka with some nice D.
They tried to stay perfect in the half, but 3 for 4 now.
The wide open look here for DeRozan. From outside, off the mark. Here's Oklahoma City now. Here's Anthony. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Anthony's got 26.
Now, just such a high percentage look, but with Melo, it's almost just a given. Tough to stop.
DeRozan dishes to Valanciunas. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. And DeRozan kicks to Valanciunas. Second chance shot. He lays it in. 8 points for him.
Well, he doesn't quit on that play. Just stays with it and gets some easy points on the putback. That's nice.
Drive by Adams. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, the Raptors have been one of the top offensive teams in the league. They clearly shoot the ball well. And there are some other things that really set them apart. One, they're a low turnover team. They hit the offensive glass strong. And they're terrific getting points from the foul line.
2 shots.
That free throw missing. And the Raptors very dependent on their backcourt to create offense.
Yeah, they love to attack in the pick and roll game. They'll drive the rim. They can rain pull-up jumpers. This is a very guard-driven team, Kev, but they do make it work.
That's off as well, so he misses both.
Well, Steven Adams is a guy who understands his role. He wants to play hard-nosed defense. He wants to score it anytime he's got a deep touch in the paint. Love his approach.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
From down low, and too long on the shot. Toronto's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Miller, the pass to Ibaka. 2 points, that one goes. Ibaka's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, you love Serge Ibaka's shot selection, especially inside where he's so efficient.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with 2 hands on that stuff. The Raptors have gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. It's stolen by Adams. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. Brewers got the ball.
And Brewer's best quality has always been his energy. And we see it there as he makes the steal and starts the break. There's just no off switch on him.
DeRozan with it. Now Anthony defending. He was all alone on that one. Miller's got 14.
Another one. Man, he's just gotten into a great rhythm out there.
You're just assuming at this point every shot he takes, it's going to go in. What a shooting performance.
Lowry dishes to Miller. It's stolen by Anthony. Here's George. And George with the stuff.
I'll tell you, there's little you can do to stop Paul George when he's got his game going. He has the lane to the rim, and you know he's going to finish.
The Raptors have gone 6 of 9 from the floor here in the second half. They've got to be happy with that. Down low. Here's Valanciunas. Thunder with the rebound. Adams has got rebound number 12 here already in the game. And the basket by Brewer. 10 points for him.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And DeRozan kicks to Valanciunas. Miller inside, defended by George. Miller, the pass to DeRozan. 5 on the clock. It's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got rebound number 13 with that last one. Brewer's shot is off. Toronto's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. Here's DeRozan, and Adams sends it back.
And the defense of Steven Adams is so important to this team. They depend on him to be a rim protector now.
Whitey's checked in for the Raptors. And a new group getting ready for Oklahoma City. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Steven Adams. Eustace comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Jeremy Grant, he's checked in for George. And it's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. Outside for Lowry. From past the arc, drills the three-pointer. Lowry's got a pair of threes now here in the third for Toronto.
Boy, that play developed just the way they wanted, and Valanciunas made sure they got the bucket. What a tremendous pass.
Toronto's gotten 12 of their points from long range in the third quarter, going 4 of 5 shooting. Inside, and you know that's going to be goaltending, guys, so that's a free basket right there.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Toronto. And Oklahoma City also making a switch. Ferguson's checked in for Corey Brewer. Eustace gets it to go from 8 feet. Eustace has got 10 points.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
I think you'd have to say this about Coach Dwayne Casey. He is very consistent with his approach. The players know what he expects, and hard work is always at the top of that list.
6 to shoot. Patterson against DeRozan. The Raptors rebound, and Grant sends it back. Here's Eustace, now recovering.
Boy, the assist just put on time and on target. Easy shot opportunity.
The Raptors have gone 8 of 16 in the third quarter to put their second half shooting percentage right at 50%. Ibaka outside. DeRozan with it. Now defended by Grant. The feed to right. Raptors moving the ball around. Lowry can't get it to go. And Doris, as consistent as Casey is, flexibility is also an asset for a head coach, isn't it?
Well, I think it certainly can be, Kev. And you see Dwayne Casey starting to experiment a bit more, trusting the younger players, in-game adjustments. Obviously, trying different combinations is important, especially in the playoffs.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. Toronto shooting 43% for the game. Van Vliet kicks to Siakam. And the pass to Powell. Shot clock at 5. The tray. Van Vliet can't get it to go. Felton kicks to Abrinas. From the baseline. Tries again. Here's Ferguson, and 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And Toronto called for the foul. Or something that's become popular, debating whether a player is a star or a superstar. To you, what's the major difference between those two thoughts?
To me, the biggest difference between star and superstar are those guys who are willing to absorb the label on a night-by-night basis and a moment-by-moment basis. You can't disappear when the stakes get high. You can't disappear on a February night in the middle of the grind pre-All-Star break. Greatness requires you to come with it every single night.
And they don't care about the conversation about them. They're bulletproof in some ways, very thick-skinned.
Very Kobe-like attribute you just referenced.
Very good comparison. And so he hits both. Here's Van Vliet, still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Right, the pass to Siakam. Powell for 3. Eustace grabs the board. Eustace has got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's Patterson. Here's Abrinas. And he uses the glass on the layup. Abrinas has got his second basket.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to tighten up.
Feeds it to Powell. He kicks it to Miles. Here's Van Vliet. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Here's Wright. The teardrop falls in. Wright's got 5 now.
I'll tell you, that's a graceful finish. Not just any old layup. The teardrop.
And the shot will not go from Eustace. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
But he stays with it. The Thunder shooting has been wild. 76%. That's just unbelievable.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Toronto's gone to the three-point shot 8 times already in the second half and hit 4 of them. Powell for 3. The Thunder pull it in.
He had a make from downtown in the first half, but no threes since then.
Felton dishes to Patterson from about 16. No good that time. And Toronto will go the other way with it. Here's Van Vliet. He's covered by Felton. And Wright kicks to Powell. Pass to Miles. Powell with the screen. 6 on the shot clock. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a 3-point play.
How about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
And you might remember, Doris, back when C.J. Miles was playing for the Pacers, they had him lining up at power forward, a tall task for him at 6'6".
Well, no doubt, Kev, but credit him for accepting the challenge. You pay a physical price for that. He's much more effective guarding wings. And unfortunately for him, that experiment was pretty short-lived.
And Toronto making a change here. Pirtle's checked in. Free throw good, Miles.
You know, Kevin, I don't think you can put a price on the experience C.J. Miles brings to the table. He is such a valuable contributor on both ends of the floor.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Here's Van Vliet. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. For Toronto, they have converted 4 of 7 free throws on the night.
Shooting one.
And the technical free throw is good. It's Miles on the wing. Powell, the pass to Miles. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From deep three-point range, Ferguson with the rebound. Oklahoma City shooting has been wild, 76%. That's just unbelievable.
Well, you have to get something out of that possession, and thanks to Patterson's work on the glass, heads-up play to score that.
1:39 left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Powell. The Thunder pull it in. Eustis has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
Struggling to make shots this quarter and making it hard to catch up.
Ferguson's shot is good.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Van Vliet kicks to Powell. Pass to Miles. Fires for 3. Miles with another miss.
Well, 2 long-range bombs in the first, but that's stalled out right now.
Here's Eustis. Field goal number 9. He's 9 of 12 with that basket.
Boy, what a quarter for this guy. Just give him the basketball and get out of the way.
Van Vliet kicks to Miles. He dishes it to Powell. Tries a 3. Hits it from three-point range. Powell's got 12 in the game.
He hits one in the first half, another here. Not prolific, but the defense has to keep an eye on him.
And that one is good.
Well, I think this is where they'd like to see Patrick Patterson be effective, get his points in tight, make nice, efficient moves to the rim.
Patterson bringing the double. Here's Pirtle. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. He's got 5.
And because of his size, that's a difficult shot to contest.
Almost unguardable, you could say, Greg. Skilled at holding the ball so high, defenders can't get to it.
Toronto shooting 45% from the field since coming out of the locker room at halftime. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Toronto working the ball around now. And Miles kicks to Pirtle. The dish to Powell. To the middle. Layup off the pick. And Pirtle lays it up and in.
Well, Kev, the hand in the face does nothing to distract Jakob Pirtle. How about the size, the strength? Going to be hard to block this guy's shot.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, really good awareness by the scorer. You're seeing an opening in the defense and exploiting it beautifully.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, enjoying the kind of gigantic lead you almost never see. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. And we'll be right back after this. Now let's take a listen on head coach Dwayne Casey.
Don't give in to those semi-fast break and get mismatched. We got to sprint back. We don't want to just give in to a mismatch. That's what they want.
And Dwayne Casey extremely focused on what he feels are cracks in their transition D.
Hey, creating space on the fast break. Something every team practices. They not only have to flip from offense to defense faster, they have to communicate much better.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. Nogueira out there with C.J. Miles. Then there's Pirtle, and it's Van Vliet in at the point. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. They set the pick. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And you watch the Thunder play, and they are just so physical with teams. They will bump you inside and outside and do everything they can do to let you know they are going to lock things down.
Well, look up and down the roster, Kevin, and you're going to see very physical players. Steven Adams and Russell Westbrook set the tone. But you can't expect to play the Thunder and not be needing a little ice bath after the game.
First free throw is good. Or as it seems like individual all-star and MVP voting is heavily influenced by how players' teams perform. Is that a good thing?
Well, I will say this, Kevin. I have a vote in some of the postseason awards. And if, in fact, I've got 2 players at the same position and I need some line of demarcation to separate one from another, a team's win-loss record may influence that. Now, you might say it's unfair, but sometimes the difference between a player making it and not making it is minuscule. I would say this to you, Kevin. I would like to see all-star teams go out to 15 players as opposed to 12. There are 3 teams, first, second, and third, all NBA. Why not have 15 guys on the all-star team?
Excellent idea. Pirtle with the ball. Now Felton defending. Van Vliet passes to Pirtle. It doesn't go for him. The Thunder shooting the lights out in this one, 77%. Ferguson's shot is good.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Here's Anunoby. Miles with it. Passes it to Anunoby. It's Pirtle, top of the key. Here's Anunoby. Takes a 3. Rebound by Raymond Felton.
Boy, all sorts of space around him. If he can't hit those, the defense not going to worry too much about him.
Johnson's shot is off. And for the Raptors, they're shooting for the game at 42%. Here's Van Vliet. It's Pirtle, top of the key. There's one trend we've seen in the league, an emphasis on getting back defensively rather than pounding the offensive glass. I think of San Antonio a little bit when I think about that. Why is that, you think?
You know, I don't know if this is something cyclical and we'll eventually see teams emphasize getting to the offensive glass as a means to help them win. But one of the most dangerous aspects of the NBA right now is transition 3 opportunities. We're not even seeing teams get back to the hoop and build their defense out. At this point, they're sprinting to the 3-point line and then building back toward the hoop. So a drastic difference. We'll see if it changes at any point.
Inside. Nogueira with it. Now Felton defending. Anunoby, good.
I think you always have to be looking for the man in the middle, and he finds him with a great feed that time.
Toronto grabs the miss. Pirtle's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's Van Vliet. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Lucas Nogueira. 2 shots.
And the free throw drops for Nogueira.
Well, the Raptors have been a top-tier team in the East. There's no question about it. You think back to 2014, maybe a rebuild. They trade away Rudy Gay. Kyle Lowry, there was some talk of him going to the Knicks. That falls through. All of a sudden, the team starts winning, and they haven't looked back.
And you talk about the Raptors front office, very progressive and very aggressive. Doris, they're willing to take a risk in pursuit of a title.
Well, they have excellent leadership at the top, and it's a group that prioritizes winning. They are willing to be aggressive in the acquisition of talent, and they are always in search of pieces that will improve their roster.
Now the pass to Anunoby. Jacks up a three. Toronto gets it back in a new 24. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
And Toronto has possession. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Takes the three. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. To the middle. Here's Brewer. That's good again. His 7th basket. 7 for 10 from the floor.
Oh, great production on the interior right now. 8 straight from inside.
Pass to Anunoby. There's a good screen. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention. Doris, we know there's a lot of trash talking on the court. Some of it is unfriendly. Some of it not so much, just kind of playing around. When do you consider comments going over the line?
Well, given that I'm not necessarily privy to exactly everything that's said, I imagine much of it not PG rated, Kevin.
No.
I would say that's an issue for the players to decide. If you step over the line, you're going to feel me in some way, shape, or form.
I don't know, though, we've ever had a time in any professional sport, but in particular the NBA, where there has been a real feeling of community among the players. I mean, I think in the olden days, there was genuine hatred, and there's some of that now, but there is really a feel like, wait, we are all in this together.
Maybe too much so.
Too much so.
I enjoyed watching Larry Bird, who was supposed to be amongst the best trash talkers, get into the head of the player. Draymond Green is the current iteration of perhaps the best trash talker. I say, listen, let him yap a little bit. Nothing wrong with that.
He's taking Kevin Garnett's place in that regard, I think.
Yeah.
Collison in the post, and he converts the layup.
And you're going to take as many of those high percentage shots as you can get.
Toronto's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the fourth. Pass to Anunoby. Kicks to Pirtle. Toronto working the ball around now. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
It's so fascinating to look back on Thunder history because 3 current players who are dominating the league were together on the Oklahoma City Thunder: Harden, Durant, and Westbrook. In retrospect, the talent level on that team was unreal.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
And the first one drops. And going back to the Thunder teams with the big 3 of Harden, Durant, and Westbrook, and Doris, some bad luck with the Thunder during those seasons.
Well, first and foremost, they ran into a great Miami team in the NBA Finals. Then after Harden left, injuries to both Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook hampered their opportunities. Still, you think back, and if you're an Oklahoma City fan, you can marvel at the collection of talent you once had.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one hand.
Woo, one of his favorite moves right there, guys. Nogueira kicks to Pirtle. And then Johnson with the jam.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Fantastic anticipation. Then he shows major explosiveness converting at the other end.
Right against Felton. Johnson over to help. Dishes it to Pirtle. No good. Some solid defense from Grant. Trying to find Johnson. He's got it now. Here's Collison. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
And every offensive board is an extra possession. If you're trying to compete from this far down, you cannot allow that.
I'll tell you, what an effort on the glass. Even with this lead, they're still going all out.
It's good.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole.
And he gets it to go. Collison's got 8 points in the quarter.
Boy, nice feed. Leading him into some space. A nice catch on the run, too. Wow.
Pirtle kicks to Nogueira, and the dunk by Nogueira.
And when Pirtle sees one of his guys wide open, he whips it his way. He's all for doing what's best for the team.
And the shot is good from Johnson.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
They set the pick. Inside, Pirtle. The kick out to Wright. Lets it go with the 3. And again, Toronto with the triple.
And they've shown a little extra hustle on the offensive glass here in the second half. Second chance points are starting to add up for them, and they can use every one of them.
It's good. 10 points for Collison.
Boy, what a quarter for this guy. Just give him the basketball and get out of the way.
The feed to Nogueira. Grant against Miles. He kicks it to Wright. Jacks up a 3. Raptors get it back.
Wow, just getting all the luck right now, it seems. Good bounce. That's all about the positioning right there. Doesn't let anybody beat him to the spot before he can get the follow-up.
Miles against Grant. Here's Anunoby. Pirtle, the pass to Anunoby. He feeds it to Miles. No good from outside.
And maybe, he thinks he can shoot himself out of the cold spell, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe somebody want to tell him to ease up off the threes. Oh, here he comes, and there he goes.
Oh, look at him punish that rim. Passes it to Anunoby. There's the triple, and he's good on the 3-ball.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly, the defense starting to look helpless at this point.
A tough first half, but it's been a different story here since the break.
To the right side. Felton against Wright. Feeds it to Pirtle. It's stolen by Johnson. Down low, here's Collison, and finished off by Collison.
You've got to love his aggressiveness to finish inside.
Well, his leaping ability gives him a great advantage. And the Raptors shooting at 42% in this final quarter. Wright dishes to Nogueira. Back to Wright. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. Wright's got 5 points now this quarter. Here's Collison. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. Anunoby passes to Miles. And it's off from 3-point range. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Stolen by Miles. A wide open look here for Wright from outside off the mark. Here's Collison. Falls right in. He is 8 for 11 with that shot.
I tell you what, his accuracy has been the story of this game.
No doubt. I mean, he's doing his best to guide his team to victory. Superb job shooting the ball in this final period.
They set the screen. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Taking 2 shots.
2 shots. Relax on the first.
And he knocks down the first one. You look at the success that Coach Billy Donovan has had both at the college level at Florida and his first few years in the NBA at Oklahoma City. Doris, he very much feels at home in playoff and pressure situations.
Well, certainly Billy D has a lot of experience managing a team in a postseason setting. This is a guy who always tinkers during the regular season to find different angles to help his guys. Billy Donovan, one of those guys increasingly who you don't want to see in a 7-game series.
Yeah, he cuts the deficit a little bit, but not as much as he could have. One miss can make a big difference. Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Oklahoma City.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And so when you look at the season record, this one will tally up win number 43 on the year.
A 2-game season series, they win them both and complete the sweep.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for George.
Boy, what a security blanket this guy has been on the offensive end. He made sure they didn't suffer any cold spells, and anytime the offense started to get stagnant, they could get him the basketball, and he'd get them in the right position.
C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Anunoby. He's off on the second. Oklahoma City shooting has been wild, 76%. That's just unbelievable.
Gets it to very close range, but there was no way the defense going to back off and give him that layup.
Powell for 3, and the 3 ball is good. Powell's got 9 points now in just the second half.
And you can see where they're attacking here in the fourth, strictly from the perimeter.
Well, they've got the green light to pull the trigger from 3, and I'll tell you, they put it to good use here.
The dish to Pirtle. Puts up a 3. He's off on that one, and it's Oklahoma City the other way. Here's Abrinas. Good. And a nice assist from Felton.
And all the energy has been sucked out of this arena. This is not what the fans came to see.
Well, they took the crowd completely out of this game, and when you get a lead like that, it's sort of deflating for the home crowd. What a solid victory on the road.
And that one drops for him.
Well, the hard work on the offensive glass pays off for Jakob Poeltl. Like to see that mindset from the big man. Goes back up strong as soon as he gets his hands on the basketball.
And saving their best for last. Tremendous run here to seal the win.
Well, this is exactly how you put teams away. Late game execution leads to a tremendous win.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They lead. 17 seconds left in the game. What do you think, guys?
You know, this is a timeout maybe just so they can pat each other on the back because no other reason to call it.
You know, I think it's an opportunity just for the coach to see some execution. Finish this thing out the right way.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
Well, to come in here facing a hostile crowd and have a game like he's had, that's what separates the good players from the great players. The first free throw is good. Both good from the line that time. Felton kicks to Eustace. And there's the big-time jam as he slams it right over Pirtle.
Listen, if you're open, Felton will find you. He has just such a great feel for the game.
Now, right to the middle. Here's Pirtle. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Shooting for Toronto, Jacob Pirtle at the line for 2.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
That free throw, no good.
So how cool is it, Kev, that Jakob Pirtle makes NBA history as the first ever Austrian-born player in the league? Doesn't matter what else he does in his career, he'll always have that distinction. That's cool.
And the second free throw, good. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. Now here's Wright. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. Here with Corey Brewer. Great job out there tonight. Seemed like the team was very cohesive. What's working?
We play as a team. That's what we got to do to win games. And, we're able to get up and down, play fast, and free-flow basketball. When we're knocking down shots, we're a really good team.
Corey, thanks for the time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long and good night, everyone.